for August 21st, 2025. I'm one of your traders, Tom Hartman, alongside the fearless and peerless Mike Christensen, co-founder and CSO of TradersPost. I thought I was going to have to update your nickname to Breakeven, Mike, but that's not the case. You did well yesterday.
Always losing, Mike?
No,
always trying not to lose, Mike? That's probably more accurate.
Up to 4 days a week at Price Action Live, we trade in front of you using the advanced trade execution engine known as TradersPost, the epic software that upgrades your trading. Whether trading stocks, futures, options, or crypto, TradersPost is a must. Today, we're trading prop firm accounts, and you can trade along with us. I'm not happy, Mike, with the markets.
What
markets are supposed to go up and to the right. It makes it very easy to predict things.
Yeah, they don't always do that. So in particular, is it Bitcoin that really has you down?
Well, everything. The dollar is now rising above the consolidation zone, so like more higher highs, more higher lows. So that's not good.
We're almost back to a major support zone for Bitcoin, though. So this is kind of promising, and it looks like it wicked down off of that support line here at 112,300.
Totally.
Maybe there's some promise here today.
The issue with the Bitcoin is that the pattern that we're seeing here is essentially the same pattern that we saw back in where was it? I switched to the daily. Okay, right here. So on the daily for Bitcoin, if we have so basically we had this run up, this bullish run up, and then switch from yellow to green in the zone, and then we move down towards the yearly average. And we're basically following a same sort of pattern here, which makes me worried that we're going to get a little bit of a run up potentially, and then a move down towards 84,000. And I don't want Bitcoin at 84,000.
That's a big move down. Yeah,
that's a big move down. And it's totally possible, and it would still be a bullish uptrend long term from the for daily, weekly, monthly.
Right.
But traded 50x leverage, not going to work.
I get it. You're going to have to wait for some big extremes and then try to get in around those extremes.
Yeah. So I'm shifting my gears to the prop firms.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So there you go. Well, at least you'll have no major downside risk. That's what we love about prop firms, right? You just have the cost of the account. So the NASDAQ's doing sort of a similar pattern here. We've been in this downtrend for the better part of 7 days now, a little over a week. This is on the 2-hour chart. And I've been paying attention to this retrace here. It looked like we had jumped off of what was originally S3 support, which has now become S1 support, as these two new lines that were previously there are now resistance. But now we've sort of found some resistance here in the overnight session. The Asian market actually pulled us down right from the electronic open last night, and it sort of invalidated this regression trend. So we're right in between S1 and R1 on the 2-hour chart, which puts me kind of neutral for the open because we're going to gap down here in about 8 minutes. And if we push to a higher zone, it would be roughly around 23,340. And if we push lower, it'd be somewhere around 23,150. So I want to watch to see how we open here. And I've got a little bit of a neutral sentiment overall. It should be bearish, but I don't want to discount how much buying pressure showed up here yesterday and bounced right off of that support line. It could still definitely print a higher low on the 2-hour chart. So we'll have to pay attention to it.
So if we get VWAPs at what, 23.3? So
yeah, VWAP at 23,250.
So plenty of room to the upside, even if it wanted to continue this bearish trend. It's gonna be so hard at the open. I think I want to switch today to your scalping thing, just to have just to take profit stop loss already set. It's very painful for me, the idea that I'd get into the position and then just get out, and then the trend would just continue. So I'm hoping that if it's out of my hands, because it's off a TradersPost, that I'll be able to do it. Because I don't understand NASDAQ, so I'm like, well, maybe scalping will work. Which seems like a recipe for disaster, but hey, we're here for the lulls.
So explain your take profit and stop loss setup. How are you going to construct the trade here?
I'm not sure I want to do negative RR. I think I just want to do
Okay.
one for one for one for one. So essentially in TradersPost for my prop firm account, I'll just do it for the third one. So I have a strategy set up here that's connected to 3 subscriptions. On this third subscription account, I'm going to go ahead and edit that subscription and set up a wait, can we set up a take profit and stop loss for Project X? I forget.
We cannot, no. So I was just going to remind you of that. This only works for TradeAvate at the moment. You can, however, log into your TopstepX dashboard, go to risk settings, and have it incorporate a take profit and stop loss based on a dollar amount. And so when we send the entry signal, it'll automatically attach those within Project X. Yep, exactly, right there.
All right, based on a dollar amount.
Yeah, so this is not the market price difference or price delta, as TradeAvate might call it. In this case, it is your P&L amount. So you're actually locking in a fixed amount of loss and a fixed amount of take.
So how much do I want to win and lose at any given time?
Remember too that if you add a second position to this, it's still going to try to move your take profit and stop loss so that you're assuming the same amount of risk. So that means that you end up with a tighter stop.
Okay, so maybe I should wait here because I realized last night I have this indicator that I made that I made back in the day when I thought I was going to be day trading that takes into consideration momentum. That's what these H's and L's on my chart over here are.
Yep.
And I'm wondering if I just trade off of those. The thing is, I won't be able to tell how far the move might go to.
Yep.
So it's just like when it gets exhausted. I'm not sure.
Right now, it seems like so I have Project X accounts on my side as well, and I am in profit on those. It's 2 futures desks accounts. Those are benefiting from my all account strategy, just moving the lines on the chart, my entry, and then I set my exit. Those are the ones where we're just following a trend and carrying the trade all the way through. The entry and exit signal gets executed just as I expect. And Project X is fantastic for the fills on that.
All right, so what I think I'll do, I'll just enter, I'll go long on L's, I'll go short on H's, and I'll move my stop loss as soon as I can to a break-even level.
All right, so you have a long entry, a short entry, and an exit line on your chart, just like I do.
That's right.
Okay.
Where are you guys?
For those that are following along here, there's a lot of different ways to set up entries and exits on TradingView. That gets sent over to TradersPost to actually execute all of your prop accounts. You can have 3, 4, 5, 6 lines on the chart, all with different instructions on how to enter and exit your trades. So you really have to think about what your execution strategy is first, and then how to set up the rules on TradersPost. But as you can see from this conversation, you also have to be aware of the potential limitations that exist with those connected brokers on the other side. If the broker or exchange that's accepting your trades doesn't support take profits or stop losses, for example, or bracket orders, as they're called, then you'll need to monitor the take profit and stop loss yourself or send those orders separately. Sometimes what you can do is you can send a buy order, and then separately you can send a limit sell order, which would basically attach a take profit. And then you can also send a separate alert to have a stop loss. But it's just a lot more work. It's more alerts, it's more lines. So to keep things simple, at least for me, I just drag one line on the chart for my entry long, a different line on the chart for entry short, and then a separate white line for exiting all of my positions at once.
So I mentioned the dollar is going up, but not strong. Like it's not a strong up move. So it's like
I see that, yeah. I'm paying attention a lot to the dollar lately. You're in my head every day now, Tom.
It really is just that temperature gauge on how stressed are financial markets.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't check bonds today. What are bond yields doing?
What I've also noticed is that some of the volatility on the dollar has actually started to fall, which I find interesting. It's kind of reached this this point in which it's not moving as much.
That's right.
If I took the median of this price here, it'd be around 98.29. for the Dixie.
That's what we call sus for the dollar.
Oh, it's called sus. Got it. Yeah. It's looking real sus at the moment. So I guess given that context, the other indicator I've been trying to keep in mind is the relationship between the NASDAQ and the dollar. And we had that extended period here where they were negatively correlated, and that's starting to mean revert now. So now we're at a point in which they are starting to move in lockstep with one another. And that relationship always seems to vacillate, as you can see here on this chart. The blue line might be kind of hard to make out, but you can see here we were in that negative territory from positively correlated, by the way, and it moved to negative, and then now we're moving the opposite direction.
So dollar up, NASDAQ up.
Possibly.
I don't like that.
It feels like basically you have to take the opposite viewpoint when it hits the extreme. So the moment that the correlation is negatively correlated, you should assume that they're now going to be positively correlated.
Right.
And the moment it's positively correlated, flip your thinking and assume that they'll now be negatively correlated. So we're kind of on the positive end, which would mean that if dollar goes down, NASDAQ up, dollar down, or the other way around, dollar down, NASDAQ up, or dollar up, NASDAQ down. I think I said that 4 different ways. I'm sorry, guys.
All right. Well, we got with the market open right now. I got an HMI chart. So, whoa, that already moved.
All right. Let's take a look at the open here. Nice bearish open candle.
I'm already in my short because I have an HMI chart. Let's see how that goes.
So you went ahead and dialed in a short right off the bat, huh?
Well, yeah, because an H for my indicator showed up. So
got it.
I'm going to be very smooth brain, and whenever it says H, I'm going to short. Whenever it says L, I'm going to go long.
Okay. I think I'm going to let a few candles form here. This is a very bearish candle in the open, though. I'm ignoring the gap again today. We ignored yesterday's gap as well, and as you can see, it was never filled or retraced. It's still open, but it was such a small gap that I consider those pretty irrelevant. Today also feels like a pretty irrelevant gap. It's only about 19 basis points in height. So I'm gonna just kind of ignore that one today. Let's take a look at where price action shows up around VWAP. We're obviously below the electronic VWAP, which is at 23,292, and we're pushing above the New York session VWAP right now.
My short immediately broke even.
Bummer. Well, hey, break even's better than a loss.
You don't know me, Mike, like that. Losses are better than break evens.
Looking at the 5-minute chart here, I see some potential for this being a support area. At least in yesterday's session, we found support around 23,196. So I want to pay attention to that level as a temporary stop support area. But again, I am expecting that we likely will come down to this 23,150 territory if there is a short here from the open.
Right.
Not a huge move, but enough to make some money today.
Let's see here. We were talking about before the yesterday about different ways of engaging, different types of metrics we could put on the chart that are not just price action or macro or anything like that. So how you're feeling and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking to myself, I need an AirTag for my wife so I could chart the distance she is from me, because the closer she is to me, the more nervous I am to make a mistake publicly. And the further away she is, the more risk taking I take. So there might be a sweet zone for how soon I'll see my wife before I'll make a good trade.
So we thought a lot about this in our all hands meeting in Michigan. We're trying to figure out data points that feel relevant to our trading. Obviously, sleep data could be relevant. How hungry you are, whether or not when was your last workout, how many miles have you walked this week? Like everything that has anything to do with your psychology and trading, I think plays a role, and we got to collect this data. Because I think it's all relevant.
I didn't remember the how hungry you are. I love that one.
Yeah, even like why not? Like we could be a little hangry.
Right.
Okay, I went ahead and entered along here because we're above VWAP. I'm going to add another leg below this open candle down at VWAP, assuming we may retrace to VWAP. But it looks like we're going to gap fill real quick.
Wow, look at that. Well, I guess break even was better for me.
So that candle turned right around, buyer stepped in. I'm still not entirely sure of the validity of this up move overall, but it could be a short one. So let's see how we go.
Well, if we get to VWAP, I'm shorting from there, that's for sure.
We almost touched it, almost wicked it. We're only off by a few points here.
Yeah, 23,290. I'm opening the short. Well, I don't know. Maybe if it blasts through.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it's possible we could take out the overnight highs and then maybe retest again, which would mean that we test R1 again today, 23,350. But let's keep an eye on where price action shows up around VWAP. Here comes the second leg. I might have to start prepping for the exit here. Not a lot of risk on the table yet.
Wait, what's the directional bias for the day?
Overall, it still feels bearish, but I've always.
But that big bounce yesterday was like
exactly.
That's a huge amount of volume.
Looking at the 2-hour chart, it looks like that regression trend that started to form got invalidated. But I will not and cannot be surprised if buyers just show up out of nowhere. We're still in a bull market, ladies and gentlemen. And we're almost at the bottom of the regression trend on the 1-day chart. If you look at that candle on the 1-day from yesterday, that could have been the print of the higher low.
Right.
All right.
And that to me seems likely because just all the bearish news you saw online. Like whenever I see bearish news on Twitter, just go long.
Just go.
It's never been a bad trade. Oh my God, you can't believe what happened in the Japanese bond market and why you should sell everything. Buy.
One of the events that I find really interesting right now is the deal that was struck with Nvidia to capture 15% of the revenue generated by selling Nvidia cards to China. And it feels like the first of its kind. I know there have been relevant policies in place in which the government gets involved in aspects of business, but I've never heard of a kickback deal like this before. Have you?
No, I don't know about the deal. What's the kickback deal?
Yeah, take a look on Google if you have a chance. Just look at this 15% deal that Trump had initiated with Nvidia, where they can sell. They're now legally allowed to sell chips to China, but they receive 15% of revenue in the process.
The Nvidia Trump deal refers to a highly unusual arrangement made in August 2025.
That's third leg for me, still going long.
All right. This deal broke with decades of national security precedent by allowing these companies to resume exports of certain previously banned AI chips to China in exchange for 15% of the China-based chip revenues to the U.S. government. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So I bring it up because that's obviously great news for AI and Nvidia in particular, and supports a good portion of the AI thesis. We're at EVWAP now, by the way.
Right, I'm shorting.
I'm three legs in, and I'm still long. I'm gonna trade against you here, Tom. I'll watch the 8 EMA. I want to see if we've got a little bit room left. We've filled half the gap from the open, which again I still count as pretty irrelevant. EVWAP definitely probably takes a lot more strength off the table, or offers a lot more strength and importance than the gap does. So you might be wrong, or you might be right on this short. Sorry, having trouble speaking as I concentrate here.
Well, I want to do these scalp things, so it's like I'm just going for the little type of rebound. In fact, whenever I'm shorting, I'm expecting the bullish trend to continue. Whenever I'm doing the other side, when I'm going long, I expect it to go down
Hmm.
because I just want these bounce. Because if I do that, then I won't want to stay in the trade.
Fair enough. Anyway, that's a lot of new revenue opportunity for Nvidia, and they're propping up a good portion of the market as is. So I would not be surprised to see a decent move to the upside here.
I wonder
As
how much
most
market
of
share
2025 seems to be
Nvidia's
AI driven.
right.
Okay, I'm going to start forming my regression trend on the open here on the 1 minute chart. Come on, let's go TradingView. Very
Give
strong
me
uptrend
my
so
take
far.
profit. Yeah, but I need my take profit at 23,263. Come on.
Oh, you just wanted to go to 263 and you're out on the short.
Correct.
Got it. Oh yeah, you're taking just 5 or 6 points then.
Just tiny. Just
Okay.
to see if I can.
Got it. So far, so good. Buyers are happy. I'm happy. Anybody getting in out of what looks like the orb break here is a little nervous at the moment. I think that was probably the top of the orb. So we're going to come back and test the VWAP here.
All right, so I got my scalp.
Okay, great.
All right, $55 on that. Trevor's words in my head. We were just chilling in Michigan, and he's like, "When you're trading your prop firm account, you know you can make $200 that day. Just go in, just get to $200 and get out. Just make it. You do $50 over here, $50 over here, and then you just get out of there."
True.
And he said it so casually. I was like, "Yeah, I guess I could just go in and make my 200 and leave."
You could say you're done for the day. It doesn't take much to make money in prop firm accounts. You don't need to make a massive profit every day. In fact, a lot of firms even have pretty strict rules around where they want your profit for the day. Tom, what's going to happen here?
I suspect we're going to bounce right from over here. But if we close below 23,234,
yeah,
I'd be because we hit VWAP, so we had to pull back some.
It's true. I was expecting a little bit of a pullback. Still looking at an uptrend. Wicks are showing higher lows. I want to give it a second here and see how we respond to VWAP before I decide to take my loss.
We're on support on my chart right now. Well, on the 1 minute. So I'm expecting a rise back up.
Okay, I'm at break even now. Come on, buyers. Now, one downside to signing up for so many different prop firm accounts is I get an enormous amount of promotional email now, especially at the open. It feels like all the prop firms try to email at the same time.
Do you use like Cloud or anything like that to tie into your email account so that it manages all your subscriptions or whatever?
I probably should. I saw that Gmail has a new feature built in to manage all of your subscriptions as well. It kind of lists out all of the providers, and you can choose which emails you want to continue to subscribe to, which is nice.
Yeah, it's a little... Wait, are you going to have to get out here?
I might have to. I'm watching this.
Yeah.
Monitoring that we're starting to form a downtrend. I want to see this get invalidated.
Yeah, if you don't get above 23,260 here, come on. Yeah, I'd move that stop up 23,250, 23,245.
Yeah, I'm trying not to put the stop too close.
Right.
And I'm okay with, about $200, $250 of risk here. And if I'm wrong, then we'll flip sides and go the other way. That's the game every day. Sometimes we're wrong about the open.
I got consolidation everywhere. 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute.
Well, it was good to remain neutral on this. Again, we were right in between the support and resistance bands, so I was pretty much ready to go long or short, depending on where we show up on VWAP. We are several minutes into the open now so far. about 13 minutes in, and most of these candles are looking pretty bullish, and we're remaining above VWAP. So I'm going to maintain my position here.
So how confident are you in being able to feel bullishness or bearishness in the chart?
It's a good question. I don't know how much of my process is intuitive. I'm guessing it's probably mostly intuitive, and I'm sort of like finding, like I'm trying to be aware of my own confirmation bias as well. Do I just look for evidence on the chart to support my direction, or am I truly looking at any evidence that should be counter trend? And I think the truth is it's probably more intuitive than it is technical, because I'm really looking at the candles as they form. I'm watching this candle at the moment. I'm looking for weakness. I'm watching that bid-ask spread line, and I'm looking for big jumps in price that tell me if the market is starting to head the other direction. How fast and how quickly we bounced off of VWAP there gave me a little confidence to stay in the trade.
Because, I mean, this is anecdotally because I haven't tracked it specifically, but your overall directional bias for the market for the day is usually like spot on. And then it's just the opening period here where the chop can just be convincing in one direction and then just not in the other, you know, and then it gets, you get rinsed sometimes.
Yeah. And that's where this gets tough. You know, you have to try to remain as mechanical as possible, try to stick with some rules. But ultimately, the chop can definitely crush me. Chop and like scalping and oversizing have been the main reasons that I lose money. Fortunately, I'm just going to have to take the loss here on this one.
Yeah.
32 seconds.
Yeah, it's too much to wait.
Okay, so down 500 on the accounts. Let's flip directions and take the other side. This is obviously going to push down and continue the bearish bias from yesterday.
Are you going to wait for the pullback before getting in?
No, I'll add to it. So at this point, I immediately took the short on the first leg because I don't want to miss what could be a lot of fervor to the downside. I'm going to wait for this candle to close, and I'll move my second leg up closer to VWAP. And then I'll put my exit here on the other side. So let's see if we can pull out of this loss that we started with.
This is the part I always find interesting with between the two of us on intraday stuff. I will only ever get in on a pullback. Like I have to, because I feel so, I'm such a contrarian. I need the stock market, I need the price to be moving up for me to short. I'm moving down for me to go long. I can never see the down move and get into it. I could watch it just completely crater right now, and I would not be able to really press the button to do it.
Got it. Yeah, no, I try to be pretty disciplined about watching where price shows up around VWAP. So, and because I'm only trading micros, it allows me to, you know, really kind of flip flop throughout the day and not take a huge portion of my drawdown out. And in general, when I've done this and I see that direction changes, and in this case, we've hit now a lower low or breaking out of what most people would consider the orb for the day on the other side. You know, if we measure out the opening range here within the first 8 minutes, 10 minutes or so, that obviously broke below the orb. And now we're retracing back to VWAP where I have the second leg prepared.
Right. And that's where I would get in.
See, it's like the inverse for me. I caught the lower leg on the sell-off, which could have continued, and I'd rather be in that trade. Because the second leg is closer to VWAP, I still get the average price I'm hoping for.
But you're double the size.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right. Interesting. All right, so I'm going to get into 23,240 here. Let's get a tick. Okay, now I'm short.
Okay, so we're going to get chopped today. That's what's going to happen.
So now I'm short.
I'm going to have to get out.
Right, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. So you're taking the smaller. I see what you mean, and that's probably a good approach for sure.
Well, I've never like consistently tried it. Like I'm only now doing it, but I'm recognizing when you would enter a trade, I would not enter a trade. But on your second, whenever the pullback and you enter there, I go, that's where I would get in.
Yeah, fair. The problem I've had is that it doesn't always retrace back to VWAP.
That's right.
And then
I just let it go. I just go, fine. I didn't get the retrace, and all right. But I'll miss out on huge dumps. Just totally miss out on it.
Yep.
All right, my stop's going to be at 23,265. And let's see if I can get a little scalp here.
All right, I want to wait about 30 seconds here, and let's see where we actually close this candle.
Right.
Again, we're still right in between R1 and S1.
Come on, come down.
No. Bummer.
All right, I'm going to stop that in a second. And I'm stopped. All right. Okay, well, I'm still up on the day. Come on, H, just show up. Tell me, past Tom, that this is a good place to be in. All right, what I'm going to do is lower the sensitivity on my indicator so it gives me more signals.
All right, there's always that potential that we have a choppy session. And so far, that's what I'm noticing. So I want to keep an eye on where we go from here.
Oh, there was an L there. That means we are going to go down. Interesting. You know what? I'm going to risk another short here.
Peter said in the comments that you should take the opposite trade of what I'm trading.
All right, I'm actually going to go short again here.
Okay. And I might have to as well. I can see we're pulling back.
There's this weird quirk with my indicator. I don't know for sure. I've never done it on this lower time frame. That whenever it prints L's for the lows, it means I'm in a downtrend. Ironically, like it'll bounce, but it means I'm in a downtrend. When I get an H, it's the opposite. So yeah, I'm curious if this works on the 1 minute.
The one thing I would say here is we filled only half of this potentially irrelevant gap. The orb I would now revise to this range between 23,290 and 23,176. For those that waited it out a little bit longer, 17 minutes. And a lot of people do wait the first 15 minutes of the session, 10, 15 minutes of the session before they establish their orb range. I think we have to effectively wait for this price action to break outside of this orb before I'm ready for the next trade.
Right.
That helps me avoid the chop. Because then the trend really has to form before I'm ready to get back in.
Okay, move my stop loss to break even. Let's see if I can get out at 23.2. No, don't hit the stop loss. Don't hit it. All right, I got stopped out. Made a couple of dollars. I mean, this is a completely different way for trading for me. It feels so foreign. In, out, jab, jab, jab.
And it's honestly that in-out choppiness that unfortunately is where you lose money. Every account I've lost, all the analysis I've done on my bad trades, it ultimately comes down to losing to chop.
Right.
Chop and oversizing for sure. So I've gotten a lot better with sizing, and I've been able to hold onto accounts a lot longer and get to payouts. But when it does this is the tough thing to avoid. So to your point, I'm getting a little bit better at saying, okay, I've taken 2 bad trades for the day. I was 3 legs on each one. I got pretty aggressive on sizing fast. Now I got to slow down and wait for a little bit better of a signal off of VWAP, because if it just keeps chopping around VWAP, I'll never make any money. So right now I have my I have my short set right below the orb, below the lowest candle for the session so far. And I could also set a buy above the highest candle, which would basically just be an orb breakout for the first leg on either side.
Okay, so let's say this is the part where I really want to understand your thinking. So here, if the price continues down,
yeah,
you would see that as confirmation and you would enter the short.
Yeah,
even though
at this point, I'm going to call this chop right away. Like, we took 2 bad trades. It tried to post above VWAP. It couldn't. It seems to be failing a breakdown from VWAP from here. This is chop.
Okay, so then there wouldn't be any reason to take a short if, let's say, the price breaks down to 23,210.
Okay.
Like, normally you would take a short there going, okay, it's confirming a down. But if we're in the chop, you should not
see a good candle close below a full candle, the high is below VWAP, maybe. Yeah, at this point. But right now I'm getting a little apprehensive that we're looking at chop.
Right.
So to help me stay a little less risky here, because I'm only going to give myself one more shot here for this session. Otherwise, I've taken too much risk for the day, and I've drawn down too much. I have plenty of drawdown in these accounts, but I don't like losing more than, losing $1,000 in a day in a lot of accounts is really rough. So I'd like to make some of that back, which means my next trade needs to be absolutely high confidence A+ trade, right?
So wouldn't that be, let's say the price rises back up now to EVWAP. That's why I would be shorting. I'd be like, that's a perfect short. But
maybe,
you would consider that to be a long.
Considerations. We're still right in the middle of the 2-hour bands.
Right.
There is the orb to consider, which is a very popular trading strategy. So even if we get to EVWAP, I would have to take a scalp there in order to say, can I profit on this at all before buyers show up right at the edge of orb there and basically stop me out?
Okay, so there's a perfect case for either direction of the trade.
I told you I was neutral at the start.
Right.
All right, that's helping my confidence to the short side here. Let's watch this candle now.
So this is what I was meaning before. So now we're back down to the range where you were short beforehand.
Yeah.
And so you would have been, in a sense, right to just hold on to the short. But you can't risk that because it could just blast off to the top side, and obviously you don't want to take that risk. But had you shorted from VWAP, then you would just be in the short, and you wouldn't have that. You wouldn't have to manage the risk on that position, right?
That's true. It's just that the short from EVWAP, I was less confident in. It just wasn't building strength the way that I wanted it to. I'm interested in getting in when it feels like the trend is really starting to form.
Okay, so you need that train to be like, okay, it's leaving the station, and you're jumping onto the train. Okay.
Like I'm going to give this 8 seconds. If this candle closes, I'm probably going to add my first leg here to the short side.
Really? And I'm looking for a long right now. It's so fun. So fun.
Okay, leg 1.
Look, we've been in this downtrend for hours, so.
That's true. The overnight session gave us a downtrend. This could be a continuation of that overall trend from the electronic session. We already seem to have invalidated the long from or for the retrace on the 2-hour chart, and there's still room before we hit the next S1. All that said, like I said, there's a bit of intuition, and of course, I'm not the best trader in the world. I don't claim to be, so I'm still trying to iron out a little bit of my process and find opportunities to ride the right trends.
So let's say you are willing to have a drawdown for the day of, let's say, 2,000.
Okay.
Why not just pick one of the positions and just let your stop loss be? Oh, I guess you can't do that though.
I could, if I had a lot more confidence to let one trade ride for the entire day, then yeah, I could size higher, but I need the ability to be wrong several times before
That's right.
I'm right.
Yeah. You might switch. That's the thing. You might switch directions, and I will never switch a direction. If I had a directional bias of bearish for the day and then it turned long, I would just be out for the
just
rest
out
of
for the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why it's, when it comes to trading, it's different strokes for different folks. You've got, your own approach that works for you. I know obviously there's plenty of other successful traders that refuse to take any trade except for the one that they have the utmost confidence in. And I'm just not that way. I prefer to look for waves. I'm like a surfer that loves riding every wave possible, and it's looking for the right ones and not trying to waste a bunch of energy on a wave that's not going to form into a perfect wave or a good swell. Like, sure, I always have a chance of being wrong and wasting a bunch of energy.
Right. Peter asked, should I trade Chop or avoid it? It depends on your strategy. Some people, they make the most money in Chop.
Exactly. I've got a friend who trades Chop and makes a ton of money in Chop just from looking for candles that invert like this. And she's in and out in just a few points, and that's it. But she's really, she sizes up. It's usually 2 or 3 micros at a time. Okay, so if I look at the overall trend from the open now, what I'm reading on the chart is we attempted to close above VWAP and it rejected. We attempted to close above VWAP again, and it didn't even have a full candle close above it. So I'm even more confident in the short side now.
Okay, so but let's say there is a bounce here because I get an L, so I'm gonna have a bounce. In fact, I got to take a long right now. Enter long. And then my stop loss lower. Okay, so let's say how big of a bounce will you suffer if it does bounce here? Would you take it all the way up to 23,280?
Yeah, another $200 or so. And then I'd have to be out for the day. Because if we're just not going to do it, if it's just going to keep doing this nonsense, then I'm done. Yeah. I'd have to liquidate for the day. And it looks like that's what it's going to do.
So yeah, I took my long here.
Not a great trading day for me.
Well,
I think, go ahead. Do the analysis, because I think you're onto something.
Because you're picking the direction I find that you're fantastic at. But the entries for your thesis, I find to be the opposite of where they need to be. I think you're right. We are in a downtrend and there will be a flush out. I do think that'll be the case. But for some reason, you take the trade when it's moving in the like I'm always expecting these bounces to wash out the position and then confirm the position.
I see what you mean. So wait. It doesn't always happen this way, though, Tom. I think that's my struggle is that this is chop. It's really hard to build a trend if it keeps chopping like this. This is what I was saying earlier. What you're saying is absolutely correct only if this trend continues to the downside after this chop. But if what happens instead is that we form a position above VWAP and then it trends to the upside, then the whole thesis is invalidated. And it was better to have avoided this entire trading session. Let me pull up my average account here, because what you guys are looking at are numbers from a fairly an account where I take a larger position. So average account was actually down 750 today. These are slightly bigger accounts, so I'm willing to take a little bit more of a position. I would be done for the day because I've taken enough loss for the day, and I would try again tomorrow. And when that trend forms, most days, if I just go back to sessions like yesterday, for example, where we see a little bit of invalidation, it pushes back. I think your point is, why not wait for the pullback and then the rejection and then take the trade after that?
Yeah, like here.
And that's where I add my second leg usually.
I know. So your second leg is so right.
So the second leg is more accurate than the first. Why not wait for the second leg? Because I'm not.
You don't want to miss the first one if it does
I don't want to miss
through.
the first, but maybe I should try to avoid the first.
So now I have an H printed on my chart. So now I'm going to go ahead, take my profit, and then enter short here. Enter short here. So now I have, so that was an $180 move from the bottom, but that bounce to me like almost confirms there will be a downtrend. You know what I mean? Like, because these, I don't know if you can see it. Let me just make it clear here. So my L's over here and my H's over here are taking momentum. Like what you're saying, all buyers are stepping in, sellers are stepping in. So instead of like me, because I can't feel what it feels like, what I do is that I wait for those to show up. And that's usually when you're going, okay, the momentum is happening. So and then I go, okay, well, the market wants to do the most amount of pain. So it'll reverse it right now, liquidate a bunch of people out, and then that would be the best time to get in, and then now move down to the other side. Now, I've only just done this today, but of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades that I took today, 4 of them were profitable. And the I was stupid on the third one why it wasn't profitable. But I'm doing like, I'm following what you're saying. And then I hear everything you're saying, and I go, okay, what he's saying means that I should wait for the pullback, and that would be the perfect entry, which is your second entry. But then you don't have enough room in order to suffer the bounce back. That's the part I'm just not getting.
Because not every session looks like this. This is a choppy open. Again, I think we would need to go back and look at another example of a session open that has a more clear direction from the open. Yeah. And then suddenly this is a different conversation, right?
That's right.
A lot of days open with a more clear direction. But on choppy days like this, I'm right there with you. If we were trading chop, it makes a ton of sense. I would take the opposing view though and say, I would not be going short here. This is clearly an area where we've closed 3 candles above VWAP now, and we're still neutral on the day, or buyers can show up right at 23,292 potentially. And if we close above this EVWAP, I think there's a lot more strength to the upside than there is to the downside.
I see.
Unless we remain in this choppy range here.
Okay, so I do believe you. So because my H shows up over here, that to me tells me that we're probably in an uptrend. But it also tells me that I probably will get a pullback that I can take a scalp on, and then it'll continue. So like I'm doing the opposite. Like I'm scalping this uptrend, and instead of taking the whole uptrend, which is what you want, I'm just trying to get the pullbacks on the uptrend, because I can't tell when the trend is going to continue, but I feel like I can tell when the pullback will happen, because everyone wants it to happen right then.
Yeah.
And if everyone wants to happen right then I expect the pullback.
Yeah, I think that's where like there's a clear difference in the trade we're actually trying to take. I'm looking for the trend for the day, and I want to be in for a while. I got to take this. We're just
it's too juicy.
I'm just going to take one more here.
Right,
I do think that there could be a small pullback from here, and I'll add a second leg. But I'm waiting for orb buyers to step in right here at 23,292.
So fun. I wish I was still in my short.
So you're still thinking you'd be short here?
Yes.
But for how long? For 3 points? For 4 points?
I don't know. I'm not saying this like I'm like fantastic at this or anything like that. I'm just saying that the market does the thing that hurts the most number of people. So I just go, if I feel like I should go long, then I should go short. That's just always how it seems to me on the short time frame. That you're right for the trend. But I get it. I hesitate because I get what you're saying. Like when the trend happens, well, it didn't matter if you 1, 2, 3 times it didn't work, because you'll just pick up all that. And I've seen you do it.
You've watched me do it, and you've watched me pull out of bigger holes. So, it's just a question of like, are we going to actually form a trend for the day, or is this chop? I went for the long knowing that I'm in my 4th trade for the day, and I've been wrong 3 times. And that's how I know I'm in chop. I lose money and I lose accounts in chop. This is chop. And the only way I get out of this is if this is a choppy open and a trend for the day. Now, if it's a trend for the day, then we invalidate this whole thesis that this is going to be a continuation to the downside. If we go onto the 2-hour chart here, you can see that we've almost completely engulfed that red candle from the open and prior to the open.
You're right.
So if we continue up from here, we push to the first R1, which is at that 23,350.
And then it could run all the way to 23,615.
100%. And then that actually confirms that this is a little bit more of a bullish move than I anticipated. Even though the Pearson R on the 2 hour is only 0.13, it's not a very strong uptrend. It could basically continue from here and improve its strength. So, and I'm not there yet in terms of a bearish sentiment where I'm ready for the shorts to be bigger and heavier than the longs are. I just keep anticipating that right when I think that we're going to have a big sell-off, the buyers just step in out of nowhere. And that's because looking at the daily trend, again, we're still in a very bullish market.
You're right. You're right. I get what you're saying.
So the best I can do is wait for the trend to establish from VWAP. One rule I could implement for myself is the orb rule, which is wait for at least the first 15 minutes of the session. Now, if I had done that, I would have missed trade 1 and 2, and I'd only be down on 1 trade at this point.
That's
and
right.
That is a solid rule. I can get on board with that.
Yeah, I would definitely vote for that. No, I mean for myself as well.
Yeah, for sure. Fair.
I don't see it. This does feel very bullish. Although I'm still short. I went short again because I got another H. Which means it's an uptrend. But I'm trying to make money on the pullback. One of the reasons I'm sort of like nervous about Peter starting to trade is that he doesn't care. And so he'll just win.
So he doesn't have the emotion behind it? Or
exactly. He'll just succeed and be like, oh, I get it.
What happens?
Yeah. And he'll be like, the Rubik's Cube solves it in like 3 seconds because he's like, I don't care if I solve the Rubik's Cube or not. That's how he's always been, just chill.
Yeah.
When we did stand-up comedy, it's been my dream my entire life to do stand-up comedy. But Peter's dream is to spite me as a twin. So then he goes up and he nails it. And I go, how do you nail it? You never even thought about doing it.
I don't know, man. Just didn't really think about it.
Peter once, we had a guitar inside of our basement just sitting there for the longest time. And Peter starts picking it up and playing it. And he starts learning the guitar. He just teaches himself the guitar. I was like, why did you teach yourself the guitar? He goes, well, because my girlfriend was learning guitar and he couldn't handle that she'd be better at it than he was. And so he just learned guitar out of spite.
That's funny.
And he became fantastic. He plays fantastic guitar and he doesn't even care.
All right. I will say this, Tom. If we're going to do it, let's do it already.
I know. Come on, more volume. Although I'm short.
I did not know that Peter was a fantastic guitarist. I would love to jam with him sometime.
Oh yeah, that's true. He does the percussion thing on the guitar at the same time.
Nice.
He plays acoustic.
Little fingernail thing and the thumb and the slap and all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'm still.
You still have that short open?
Yes. I mean, I'm about to get stopped out.
All right. Competing minds here. I'm hoping and expecting that buyers will show up at the orb if we can continue from here. Peter says he's not a fantastic guitarist. Well, either you're lying or Tom is. I'm not sure who.
Well, he might not have been playing over the last year or so. I'm stopped out.
There it is.
All right, I'm done for the day. Let me just take my profit and move on.
Okay, so I'm hoping, let's see if we can dig out of the hole again, Tom, and just sort of go off of this thesis that one, yes, I could have followed a little bit better of a rule set from the open and not taken trade 1 and 2. 3 would have been a failure. I would have stopped out and I would have been much more comfortable starting to add to my long once I saw this inversion and that volume from the bottom of the orb. I could have started to build up my position here. Now I'm only 2 legs into the long because I kind of waited a little bit to get into this position, but it is continuing in my direction. It's looking pretty bullish on the 5-minute. It looks like we bounced off the support zone on the 2-hour, and now we're heading to test that resistance line from the overnight session. R1, which is another 42 points away.
Oh wait, let me make myself feel better by looking at Bitcoin. Did it go up? Yes. Ooh, sweet.
Did you take another trade?
No. I'm just looking at my other accounts because
Interesting.
I feel twice
on gold here from the open. Oil's also moving up.
Wait, is there news today?
Copper's moving up.
Oh, PMIs today. Oh no, S&P. Who cares about the S&P PMIs? Existing home sales, 4 million.
Yeah, that was the only report I saw was existing home sales. All right, I don't like this. If we're going to move and break out of orb, it needs to be a strong momentum. And to see a pullback here has me a little nervous.
Right.
So I may be prepared to bring my stop to break even, which would at least make it to where I don't lose again on this 4th trade for the day.
Yeah. Dang.
I'm going to take a haircut today.
But I think you were right on the bull trend. So, like for me, I would not be exiting that position unless I cross 23,272 VWAP.
Yeah.
Because we're above VWAP for the first time of the session.
It's true. Just can't get it to continue.
Yeah.
This is where I lose money, Tom.
Okay. Well, this is it. It's done. Now is where I would go long. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Let me go long here.
You try to add another, or you would start your long here?
Yes.
Got it.
But I didn't get the perfect entry. Come on. Damn it. Did I miss it? Let me do it again.
Oof. Oh my God. I'm going to have
now
to go and write some notes on the chalkboard behind me.
So no trading in the first 15 minutes.
15 minutes. I won't take trades in the first 15 minutes.
And now I'm with you on the same direction.
I mean, the buyers keep stepping back in. I like this.
We're above EVWAP. That's all I need. And then my stop is just a little bit below EVWAP.
And this is finally the longest trend we've seen so far from the open. The first couple of chops there were, a few minutes each, 7 minutes each. This trend is now 16 minutes in. A little bit longer, a little more established. We still have room to the upside. I don't see any major resistance yet, except for that main R1. So we're basically going to test the high of the electronic session now, and yesterday's high.
All right, so we'll move sideways, consolidate, and then make a move. If it makes you feel any better, I'm becoming a better trader doing these price action lives with you. I'm so surprised. I never thought I'd be able to see anything in the intraday. I avoided, oh my God, Mike, the money I lost in day trading before alone. God dang it. I was like, I'm never going to do that again. But with prop firms, it's a whole different story.
It is. It allows us to be wrong more and learn from those mistakes for sure. Without wiping out entire futures accounts. All right, so we closed the gap from the open, which I wasn't entirely sure was relevant, but that could be resistance.
All right. Well, if this is going to continue, it should continue all the way up to at least 23,468, which is the weekly VWAP. But it's the NASDAQ, so I wouldn't be surprised if it went to 23.6 by the end of the day.
I'm not surprised by anything anymore. These
Yeah.
markets can be real weird.
You got to watch Kim Carson's interview on what was it, StockTwits again? And it's just the description of the mechanics of the markets and like what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's talking about potentially 90% down.
Oof, 90
of equity markets, 90% down.
That doesn't make any sense.
Over the next 5 years or what have you.
The S&P 500's never had that kind of drawdown.
Well, he says it had a drawdown like that in the 70s, 67, 68. I can't remember.
By the way,
what he's talking about. I might be misquoting him.
There, I didn't buy the high. I waited for the pullback and bought the pullback. Third leg in.
He can be taught.
Let's see if we can do it. I'm not very confident, but I feel like there's a lot of headwinds in front of me, and if we're going to break out of this and actually reclaim my losses for the day, it'd be a break-even day, and I'd be happy with that. I definitely bought in the wrong zone here, though, looking at the chart.
Yeah.
Nice bounce off support, though. I mean, it's definitely a promising forming trend here. However sideways this is right now.
Sideways always favors up, though.
On the higher time frames?
Well, because the volatility surface of equity markets is always dipped towards the bullish side. It's always slanted towards the bullish side because of liquidity.
Sure.
More people succeed or happy if it goes up.
This is a pretty short-term window, though. We're only talking about 1 day of data. That's what I mean by sideways. This trend here from the bottom wick to the current candle is a fairly sideways trend. I want to see it really push above R1 and R2 for it to be an established uptrend.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, I'm going to be pretty lucky here if we can break past the gap fill, past R1, past yesterday's high, past R2. I mean, that's a hell of a trend. Anybody who's been in since the bottom here, you're going to catch, 250, 300 points of movement.
I'm questioning because I had gotten in on that low, remember? And for a long.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm questioning, like, what could I have done to stay in it? And I sort of have this, I don't know. When an L shows up on my chart and then an H right after, often that means it's a trend reversal. But I haven't traded it yet, so I have to look over my trades later on.
Got it.
This bullish trend is feeling pretty good. If I'm going to go by feels,
it's feeling pretty good. I mean, it's maintaining its course for sure, and that's another improvement that I've made is getting better about taking the long side if it closes above VWAP. I try to follow VWAP to the T for my strategy here. And it has served me well taking both sides. The problem is it's not a fast moving trend against VWAP. When you have a sell-off, it tends to sell off fast, and I can get into profit almost immediately, and my confidence is improved, and I feel really good about the trade. These bullish moves, they have these little reversal candles that make me go, nope, it's done. Whole thing's over. And then it continues.
I'm an idiot. It's wrong. It's terrible. I got to get out.
I'm the worst trader on the planet. And then it continues for the rest of the day. And I'm like, oh, I guess I should have stayed in that for the entire day. All right. So 1/3 of my losses reclaimed so far, almost. I would like to see me get to about a break-even point. So in order to pull that off, I need another, let's see.
Are you adjusting your stop loss to that 1/3 loss?
No, that would force me to get out right now.
I see. All right. I'm definitely moving my stop loss up. All right. So I've locked in 274. No.
So I need 55 points to break even. And that puts me from here to roughly 23,373, which is basically the high of yesterday. So if this bull trend can continue, I can at least mop up my losses for the day.
Well, you're so good in mop-up mode, Mike. I gotta tell you.
Well, you called me the right name earlier today, Mike Breakeven. That's all I can do for the day is break even. I'd be happy with it.
All right, so an 8 shows up, which means we could get a little bit of a pullback, but it's confirming an uptrend. So,
all right, I'm going to raise my stop just slightly here to the top of the orb.
Would that lock in some profit?
It would lock in $100 of profit on this particular trade, but it would still put me at roughly $1,400 on the overall P&L on these mid-size accounts.
Got it.
So, of course, we want to see the move for another 55 points. I think this is where, I think of Livingston, one of the greater traders from back in the day. Sorry, not Livingston, Livermore, Jesse Livermore. The money he made was on sitting on his hands, not by trading in general. And when it comes to this kind of trend, it's really about just sit on your hands. If the bulls want it, they'll take it.
That's right.
And just looking at the daily trend, it's a bit of an indecision candle right now.
Ooh, am I going to get stopped out? I am.
Your indicator was right. There's that pullback. I don't like it.
I got stopped, even though my indicator still says it's bullish. Brutal.
It's the worst. It's the worst, man.
Yeah.
When looking at it the other way, if I flip the chart upside down, if this looked like a short, that engulfing candle right there would have me worried that was the end of the trend.
I see.
Same thing on this side. I mean, either way you look at it, it's the same structure. But if I'm listening to the regression trend, which is where I've needed to do that in the past, let's actually measure this out properly. So the mistake I made in the past is that I haven't correctly identified the cross trend and waited to see if it was invalidated or not.
Right.
So let me do that today. We got 12 seconds for the rest of this bar, and then we'll have 3 candles in. Let's see if we can actually stay inside this regression trend to the long side. If I extend the lines, you'll see what I mean by this. It's bouncing off the bottom of this regression trend and it's starting to find a move to the upside. And look at that, by the 3rd candle, it's already invalidated. So if I had placed my stop like right there, I'd be out already.
That's what happened to me. I'm out already. You're right. Wow. So the if I had seen an L show up there, then I would have been immediately close it all, get out, trend reversal coming.
Okay, we're making some money. I'm 3 legs in. I don't add any more than this. So I'm already fully exposed in my position, the position size I'm willing to take. So I just have to wait at this point. We're about ready to hit R1, which is on the 2-hour chart. I've got a resistance line 1, and then I'm going to actually move this just a little bit higher to show you where the top wick is from this session previous.
Right.
And that puts me at roughly the 23,369, which at this point, got about $800 more before I'm break even for the day.
Well, my indicator still says bullish.
I need 44 more points, which is a little past R1 there.
Oh, you're gonna get there. You're gonna blast past that.
I hope so.
You're getting to 23,467. Or my name isn't Tom Montgomery Hartman. It isn't. It's not Montgomery
You
Hartman
have
at
a
all.
very regal middle name, by the way.
Oh, my real middle name is Samuel.
Oh, yes.
Look at that. Look at that.
Thank you, buyers. That's what I'm looking for. All right. So we're right into the resistance band. I want to see what happens here now.
Well, you should be able to get to 23,361, and then it should go bananas. It should shake a bunch of people out.
I like it. I'm gonna go ahead and not even use a trailing stop as my exit here. I'm gonna try to follow my rules, which are to use the regression trend as my exit strategy. And so the way this works is I find the top candle and I start to measure the downtrend. Let's say that 3 candle there. And if that regression trend doesn't continue to break outside of the uptrend and it gets invalidated, then I know it's still time to hang on. I've actually been wanting to automate this and write an algorithm for it.
I was just about to.
It's really easy to measure. Yeah, you can measure pivot points and just measure the regression trend in between and just watch for the high candle, measure the downside, make sure it stays inside, and then you basically just have a reversal strategy that's constantly going long or short.
Right. So this should be a brutal pullback. Like whatever pullback's going to be happening soon between here and 262, it should be pretty crazy.
I mean, we're in that resistance zone. I feel like I have to take profit and take half of the loss.
I think you do.
But I'm watching it. So there's one other indicator which I'm watching, which is the 8 EMA. That short-term EMA has a little bit of confidence on it, but oh god, that's so bad.
It's gonna get crazy, and then I'm gonna get in a long.
I hate it so much, Tom.
Yeah. I'm getting in at as soon as that candle is done. All right, we're almost there.
So if I'm following only the regression trend rules, this was the wick, top wick. This is appearing to start to form a downtrend and a reversal against the uptrend. But I want to see if we stay inside the channel to the upside.
Ooh. Well, I just went long.
You went long here.
I just went long here, yes, because I was waiting for a pullback like this to get back in.
I see.
But it's pretty brutal. Like I said, it's going to be a pretty brutal sell if it's going to happen at all. Yeah,
come on, stay in the channel. Damn it. I'm going to have to move my stop right to that wick. And I don't pick up much profit at all in this trade.
Yeah.
So we hit R1 on the higher time frame. That's why we're pulling back. And that's the end of this trade. Boo. All right, so I didn't do very well on that trade either, Tom. I mean, I made some money, but like again, this is such a frustrating chop.
I would love to see you try one of these days. Just do it my way. I want to see how your technique with my entries could work.
But didn't you just take a long?
Yeah, I took a long. I think it will bounce up.
Where's your stop?
My stop is at VWAP.
I see.
But the like as soon as that H showed up on the thing, that's what I was telling you. Like because we're in that resistance zone, that H means it's going to pull back pretty hard, and that would have been the ideal time to exit.
Hold my beer, Tom.
Are you going back in?
I actually think we're forming a reversal now.
To the downside?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think that R1 is enough of a signal to say that it's going to come back and retest VWAP at least.
And then turn over.
It depends. I don't know if sellers are going to show up around VWAP.
Right.
But it's a neutral day. So we just tested both sides of support and resistance.
I guess you're right. I'm still going to be long. Until I see an L here, I'm going to be long.
Got it. What is your indicator measure?
It's just a confluence of on-balance volume, RSI, momentum.
Got it.
Oh, brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. But I'm still going to be long. In fact, I probably take another add to my position at 23,276.
All right, so you're seeing it here first, people. I'm short. Tom's long. He's going to add to his long. I'm going to add to my short. I don't know. I think I'm messing up here for sure. I mean, it's been a down day for me. It's been a down few sessions actually. So I found a rule around that I need to adhere more from the open. Things can get choppy, especially if it's in neutral territory. That might have been my main signal, is that we opened up in neutral territory between support and resistance on the higher time frame.
That's
so
right.
I should have anticipated chop because of that.
Exactly. That's exactly right. When you're between two levels, guaranteed chop. Essentially guaranteed chop. So you're short. Oh no, an L. No. All right. So that means we're both going to lose right now. It'll bounce up. Then I have to get out. You'll stop yourself out, even though you should be going short. We're both going to lose.
I'm not going to stop myself out. We're still in the downtrend. We're starting to form what looks like an uptrend, but
all right, well,
I'm comfortable adding to my position if we close below this wick.
I think we bounce potentially up to 23,317, and then it rolls back over. So because there's an L, let me go ahead and all right, I'm going to short from.
This is better than the Tyson Paul fight.
Everything is better than the Tyson Paul fight. All right, if we get a pullback to 23,316, then I'm going to be short.
Okay, following my regression rules here, we're starting to form an uptrend that appears to be getting invalidated, but I'm going to keep an eye on it. I want to see a higher high.
Wait, you want to see a higher high to close your position?
To exit, yeah.
Okay.
At this point, I feel confident that we're still going to continue this downtrend, either to EVWAP or VWAP or farther.
Okay, so what are you going to do if we get a bounce up here to 23,316? You're going to stop out?
I'll probably get stopped out sooner than that. I'm watching the 8 EMA and this trend to start to form here.
Okay, so let's just call this. I think it goes to 23,316. You get stopped out. I enter a short, and then it turns lower. That's what I think is about to happen.
I think I'm going to be adding to my short here if this gets invalidated. There it is. So I already had that prepared, and it got invalidated. So this attempt at reversing to the upside got invalidated. It's pushing down again. We just need to see a lower low, and I would say we're confirmed inside this regression trend. Look at that.
Well, you got to close that position before you can rub it in my face here. Right? You close in profit first.
It doesn't count until I'm in profit.
Absolutely. Until that position's closed. I think we're going straight to 23,316.
Oh, man.
Taking a victory lap around me. Just got stopped out.
It's like the middle of the race, right? Like Formula One style. I just cut in front of you just now.
Every Aesop's fable says you should not do that. Okay, now that we're EVWAP, like, you're going to get a bounce here.
Maybe.
almost certainly there's going to be a bounce
There
right
probably
around
will be a
here.
bounce, but just watch the candles. At the end of the day, the indicators are secondary to price action. I want to see what the candles do.
It bought? Why did it buy? Oh, right. I am buying it VWAP. I should not have bought.
Tom, if this goes below VWAP and I take a mega short here, how are you going to feel?
Pretty good, actually. I'm pretty happy.
I mean, look at these candles. Just looking at price action alone, the size of volume on these red candles here is enough to tell me this could just be a retrace to VWAP,
right?
Which is fine, and I'm ready to potentially get out of this position as a result. That was the bounce. I want to watch this candle now.
Come on, 23 through 16. Come on.
Indecision. Look at that. It's balanced out between EVWAP and VWAP.
Brutal.
Oh, and it's selling hard.
God.
We get one close below VWAP, and I'm going to go ahead and add my third leg to this position. I'm already in by 2.
Wait. Oh, you're going to add another short.
Yeah.
What happens if it bounces?
If there is no bounce from VWAP and we close below VWAP, that's confirmation to a downtrend. Let's watch what happens to this candle here.
Right. If I'm an automated system or I'm a whatever, market maker, whatever, I'm looking for a close below there to then drive the price up the other way. Because then everyone's going to be waiting for that close.
That's true. I hear what you're saying. And yet, price is going to do what price is going to do. The market's going to go where it wants to go. If we're looking at the higher 5-minute time frame, we just closed below the both EMAs. We're right back to the middle of support and resistance.
Right. Full on chop day.
The trend is our friend until the bend in the end, Tom.
That's true. I've found out, if there's one tidbit of information I did not expect to find out about Mike, is that Mike is far more of a thrill seeker than I ever gave him credit for. I thought I was the crazy one on here. Mike loves this sort of thing.
I love the adrenaline rush. I definitely internalize a lot of it. But yeah, motorcycles, skydiving, rock climbing, I'm all over the place.
Oh my God. All those words give me anxiety just hearing them.
Yeah, your sense of adventure and danger was getting bitten by mosquitoes on our little stroll through the park, right?
And you can't imagine how much I hated that.
I know you did. Okay, we're still above VWAP. I'm still concerned that it's going to reverse here.
Yeah, I think it would reverse. Absolutely. Because that would be the most painful. Oh, an L. Okay, so it's going to be a bounce and then another drop.
Sellers want it.
Yeah, they do. Right now, my indicator is confirming the downtrend. So it's just what happens in between. And it's when you get stopped out, right when it turns the other side and confirms your bias. That's the part I find to be interesting.
Okay, we're still at VWAP. We're not out of the woods yet. If I'm going to continue this trend, it's going to be because it closes below VWAP. At this point, I'm feeling like I really got to watch what this candle does.
And you won't move your stop like way close down. Oh, you don't want to get wicked out.
I don't want to get wicked out.
It's so funny. I have no problem getting wicked out. I'm like, okay.
Do you see the selling pressure mid candle here?
It's tons of selling pressure. I think the downtrend is absolutely confirmed. I'm just curious if you're going to hold it.
No, maybe.
That's the part. I think it's definitely coming down.
No, that's engulfing.
It's engulfing. You're right. And then,
okay,
now is when I would short.
I'm sorry.
Now is when I'm going to short.
Now you would short? Okay.
Now I'm shorting. Yeah, absolutely.
And I still have an opportunity to be right, but I still don't want to. I still want to risk that. So we've started to form an uptrend. I want to see this get invalidated and then close.
What I find fascinating is that you would correct me if I'm wrong, you would never have set your take profit at VWAP, at VWAP, then wait for VWAP to close and only get back in if it confirmed it. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't take the profit over there, wait for it to break, then pull back, get in, and then take the...
I mean, I think your point is valid, but I only would have picked up an extra 8 points. It's not, a huge difference in overall profit, but yeah, I could have picked up a little bit more profit if I had done it that way.
Because you wouldn't want to have missed the drop, like the big drop out of the market.
Right. What I'm really trying to do is establish a position and stay in that damn thing as long as possible. I think that's probably my big weakness, is that I am a trend follower. So I hate chop because I can't make any money in it. And I need the trend to persist and persist for a good portion of the session. So this is starting to weaken. We're at 0.78 on the uptrend. But if this candle closes above VWAP, then I effectively go ahead and just reverse and go long now.
Mm-hmm.
And now I get to reestablish my long from a better price. You would have been short here.
I am short.
You are short here.
Yeah.
And the buyers are stepping in.
But I don't believe it. My stop's at 23,294.
I'm going to throw one leg on.
To go long.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I get it. I get it. And I look at the chart and I go, oh my God, I want to be short here so badly. It's so fascinating.
There we go. Got it right there. It's not a bad position.
It's going to go down.
We got to see it. We got to see where it goes.
It's definitely going down.
We started to form an uptrend here. It almost has invalidated the downtrend, but not entirely yet.
It's for sure going down.
It's the
I don't see
battle.
how it cannot go down.
It's the VWAP battle.
You always wonder who's on the other side of your trade. You got it here, folks. You got it here. It's Mike and Tom. We're on the other side.
I love that we've been on opposite sides this entire time. Okay, I don't like how that's weakening. You're right.
I think
I'm
we're
keeping
definitely
my
breaking
stop
lower.
here, and I'm keeping my sell here.
But I just follow my indicator. If my indicator says sell, then I just sell.
Hey, I'm following mine too. My indicator is twofold. Where's VWAP? Where's EVWAP? Where's the regression trend?
Oh my God. What is happening here?
Oh my goodness.
These candles are not favoring me.
Didn't you say it was definitely going down?
It's definitely going down. It's just how it goes down.
And when it goes down, you're like, Mike, it went down 6 days from now.
That's what Peter tells me.
That's looking a lot stronger, my friend.
It is. But
very engulfing. Bounce off of VWAP. No close below.
It's got to close above 23. Like
we're now in a candle above EVWAP as well.
Oh, if it's a higher low, God dang it.
It's choppy.
I'll still be up in the day.
It's still chop, and we still haven't really broken the orb in a sense. If you revise the orb to that new high of the day, we're basically stuck in this indecision area. Second leg added.
Oh my God. Whenever you say that, I'm just like it's always, I'm thinking, usually at that moment, whenever you're saying that added the position, I'm thinking to myself, okay,
it's going the other way.
It's so weird.
I'm just following price action. But I did buy the pullback though. I didn't buy the high.
You know what? You're right. Actually, I flipped the way I was doing this.
Here.
You're right. I've actually flipped how I was trading here. I'm doing it the wrong way. I should have bought at that bounce at VWAP. I don't know why I didn't do it there. I should not be in the short right now.
I'm at break even at the moment. And this is going to be a pretty tight trade. I'm basically going to add a third leg if it comes right back down to VWAP. I'm still expecting we push up from here. I could be wrong. So I don't want to add too quickly here. The uptrend is now starting to lose some steam.
Yeah. And we're below EVWAP. But it's like all the lines are converging.
Yeah.
It's so hard to decide.
We're trading chop here. There's just no question about it. This is going to remain a hard session to trade until a trend actually starts to form.
Right. But even in the chop, we're like smack dab in the middle of like, I don't know.
We're still in between S1 and R1. Yeah. So it's still indecision. We're still at break even for the day. You know, we started 25 basis points down on NASDAQ. So we haven't gone anywhere yet.
Prove me right. Prove me right.
All right. Third leg in, but I'm very quickly going to get out.
Oh, come on. It's bouncing there. Come on.
So far, VWAP is confirming.
It is. I don't like that.
I don't like the uptrend now. It's basically sideways. We really need a good push from here.
Generally speaking, I like seeing when Mike's chart, your table there is green, but now that your green is my red, your red's my green, it's like messing me up. I'm like happy and then sad, and then happy and then sad.
I have a meeting in 10 minutes, so I got to figure out how I'm going to manage this trade.
just take off your stop loss, take profits, and just let it ride.
I would say, you know what I like is the trailing stop alerts. We'll go from here. 1.5. Nope, already got stopped out there. So drag that guy down to here.
Where are you from, Diana asks. I am from Montreal, Canada.
Hi, Diana. I'm from Denver.
Peter says, after watching this, I don't need creatine. I agree.
Somehow this is making Peter much stronger just by watching.
I don't like being in this position.
This sucks. I don't like being sideways. Is very much a sit on your hand session, but also just don't trade session.
Yeah.
I think any other trend following trader would look at this and go, what are you doing? Why are you even in these trades? This is too choppy.
I just want to learn how to trade the chop. Like, there's money there.
It's scalping though. You've got to just do what I'm doing right now, which is just finding the reversals and trading it for 10 points and calling it a day.
Oh God, the hardest part is that. Trading for 10 points and calling it a day. Oof.
Make $200 and you're out. You know?
Right. Keep Trevor's words in my head. 200.
You don't need to make a lot of money in these prop accounts. I think my dilemma is that my form of trading is such that I make the most money and I get to payouts faster doing it this way. And yet at the same time, I really sometimes just need to reevaluate my life. So like I said, I never claimed to be the world's best trader. So, okay, this is promising. I like where we're at above EVWAP here. We're starting to form a candle above it. The trend is starting to improve. Pearson's R is at 0.5.
So you got to set your exit levels and just walk away.
Just walk away and
order failed.
Get these out of the way because we're not taking any more trades today. So
All right, well,
turn off my buy and sell lines, and we just have the exit now. All right, so I still need $900 to get out of the hole.
and often there's a trend for the end of the, like for the rest of the day, right? Like there's a likelihood that it will then trend after like 11.
So if I'm right on this, I only need it to go to 23,330 in order to break even for the whole day, which means that I could put my stop right here on the chart and I break even for the day.
Right.
So to copy this, I have a stop, and I'm going to set an alert here for the stop loss. Grab the all accounts webhook.
Oh no, don't stop me out.
Create that guy. All right, so that's it. I have my take profit up here at 23,329, which would allow me to be break even for the day. And then my stop loss right below these candles below VWAP.
And I'm stopped out. Father, God dang it.
What a frustrating session.
Lessons learned, though. Lessons learned.
Agreed. Indecision open, likely going to be chop. Wait for the orb, wait a few minutes. Buy the pullbacks or sell the pullbacks. Agreed with you on those. But I told you price action was showing us that VWAP was confirmation.
That's true. And I should have continued my trades the way I was doing them before. I should not have done it this way. I would have succeeded. But that's fine. This is great. This is what we're here for, Price Action Live. Guys, you have seen us today use TradersPost to do all this. And look how seamless it was for us. We weren't like fidgeting around with the TradersPost software. We weren't like, oh my God, something went wrong or didn't, we have to fix this, fix that. It just worked the way it needed to. And we were able just to focus on the trading. And that's what the software is for. You get to set it up. We get to scale across different prop firms. We get to set our rules. We get to set our subscription settings and just move on with our day. Whether you're doing discretionary trading or systematic trading, we're here for you guys. So we'll be back tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for more trading. But in the meantime, please go ahead, use the coupon code PropScaling20 in order to get 20% off your subscription on TradersPost, because as you're seeing, there's money to be made, but you need the tools in order to do it. Mike, anything else you wanted to drop in before we leave?
I don't think so. Appreciate you wrapping that up here. Let's see how this trade goes. I might raise my stop just to take a little bit more profit off the table for those watching. And good luck to everybody out there. If you do get signed up with TradersPost, just remember where our platform is designed to help you execute in the best way possible across multiple accounts, multiple asset classes, whatever your style is. And we're always looking for ways to improve, but your feedback is most important to us. So, shoot us an email if you have feature requests you're looking for as well.
All right. Happy trading.